And at the top of that hill, there's going to be a black and white bird that's known as a saddle-billed stork. They stand about 5 feet tall, and we tell the gender of them by the color of their eyes. Females have yellow, while males have a dark brown. And the light tan antelope at the top of that hill, that's known as the greater kudu. They are the second tallest of the antelope species. We can tell she's a female since she doesn't have any horns. With her cup-shaped ears, she does rely more on her sound rather than her sight. The greater kudus have a relative that lives over this way. It's known as the bongo. And how we tell they're related is by the 18 white stripes found on each of their backs. If you look closely on the right at the top of the hill, you can actually see our friends kind of hiding within the bushes. The bongos get the nickname of the ghost of the forest, and you can kind of see why, because they can rarely be seen when hidden behind bushes and trees. Both males and females will have horns, but they are leaned more towards their back. So they are hiding underneath any bushes. Their horns won't get tangled up in any of the branches. And if you ever pet a bongo, that color of their fur can transfer over to your hand as well too. So it is super neat. Now we are about to enter into the Safi River, which is home to some of the water animals that we do have out here on the reserve. One of the animals that hopefully we'll have a chance to say hi to will be a hippo. Now they can spend up to 8 minutes underneath that water at a time. They do not swim, they more walk or run the bottom of the surface. That's because when fully grown, they weigh about 5,500 pounds, causing them to sink right to the bottom. You can actually see our friend over here on the right. Each hippo makes its own personal wheeze honk noise, so they can communicate when they are separated. And although they do have those giant teeth, their diet does consist mostly of just plants. And if you guys kind of look closely on the left-hand side, you can see some more hippos as well. Their backs kind of look like random floating rocks over here on the left-hand side. Now on that island, those are known as pink-backed pelicans. They may not have that pink color right now, but they do get it once it does become mating season and once they find their mate. Their wingspan is 7 to 9 feet long, which is the same length as the canopy right above all of your heads going from left to right. They do not vocalize to communicate, and so they just rattle their bills back and forth. When traveling, they can travel with up to 500 at once, so it definitely could be a sight to see. Speaking of sights to see, over here on the left, those are Nile crocodile, the largest of the species. They can spend up to 2 hours underneath the water at a time, and they are as long as giraffes are tall, ranging from 16 to 18 feet long. They weigh around 500 pounds, and they can eat half of their body weight in one feeding, so they can eat things such as zebras, antelopes, and antelopes. They can also live to be up to 40 years old as well. So we're going to enter into the world-famous savanna, which is going to be home to many famous African wildlife that we do have out here on the reserve. Millions of animals migrate to the savanna every year, and in just a moment, we'll see a bunch of them that do call it their home. The part that we're entering is known as the Serengeti grasslands. So that's where you can see some giraffes, mandrill monkeys, African elephants, African painted dogs, and so much more. Now before we enter, over here on the right, we're going to take a look at this upside down looking tree. It gets that nickname because the branches look like tree roots, making it look like it is planted upside down. But it will be known as the baobab tree. With that giant tree trunk as well, it gets the more common nickname of the tree of life. That's because that trunk holds thousands and thousands of tons of water in it. It's going to conserve it all until that tree finally grows some leaves, because it is leafless for 9 months out of the year. Now here we are, my friends, officially in the savannah. And as I like to start every little intro to the savannah, so let's see which of my friends will have the luck of seeing here along the way. If you guys actually take a look over here on the right, a little bit in the distance, you guys can see some giraffes kind of walking around. Now, the giraffes here on the reserve are Maasai giraffes. That means that the spots sort of on their bodies are a little bit more rough rather than smooth. They can run the same speed as a rhinoceros, so that's about 35 miles per hour. And they can make a sound pretty similar sounding to the sound that a sheep can make. Also on the right in the distance with those giant horns, those are known as Ant Collie cattle. Their horns are 4 to 6 feet long, and they might look super heavy on the top of their heads, but they are honeycomb hollow pattern. They weigh 15 to 20 pounds each, and they use those horns to circulate blood flow throughout their bodies to maintain a nice body temperature. They also get a nickname of Watusi cattle after the Watusi tribe that did domesticate them. So they're the only animals out here on the reserve that are also domesticated. On the left, sleeping in this little den, those are going to be the African painted dogs. They travel in adult packs of 5 to 15. And when a female has a litter of pups, she can have a litter of up to 21 at a time. Now they might look super cute, but their looks are deceiving. They have the highest percentage rate in successful hunting of any African animal, which is 90%. That's because they come together and chase their prey till exhaustion, and they will have that nice little meal while it is unfortunately still alive. On the left, those brown antelopes are sable antelopes. They are our emblem here on the reserve. How we tell the difference between a male and a female is that males are dark in color once fully matured. The color of their fur can range from a light tan to a jet black. Over here on the left-hand side, we'll see some giraffes, and these ones are small. It's because they are babies. We're very lucky here at Harambe to have 5 of them. Speaking of baby giraffes, if anyone on this truck is 6 foot, congratulations. You're the same height as this baby giraffe when it was first born. They're also able to start walking within their first hour of birth, too. With 6 feet, that's actually going to be the height of the drop they actually experience when being born. Mothers give birth standing up, so their drop can range from 6 to 8 feet tall. If you also look within the tall grass area, there is a light tan antelope. That's a Patterson eland. They're going to be the largest of the antelope species. They'll weigh up to 2,000 pounds when fully grown. Typically, the males weigh around that much. Females range from 1,100 to 1,300 pounds. And both males and females will have spiral horns. I think we'll get a nice view of this giraffe up over here as well. Oh, I think it's going to cause a traffic jam. We do tend to get into a lot of them out over here, as you guys can probably imagine. Now, a group of giraffes like we did just see is known as a tower, while a group of running giraffes is actually known as the Tower of Terror. This way. Get a nice view of some friends of mine. Looks like this one's going to follow us throughout our little adventure here on the reserve. Maybe if we're lucky. Now coming up shortly on the right hand side, you guys will see the silver blackish colored animal. That is going to be the white-bearded wildebeest. They go through a great migration. So that means they travel about 500 to 1,000 miles all throughout Africa. 1.5 million of them started in it. All right. Yeah, we're in a real giraffic jam now. Now, if you guys take a look also on the right-hand side, that tiny little gazelle, that is a springbok. They can jump 6 feet in the air, as well as leap 13 feet forward. And although they are really tiny, they are in the top 10 fastest land animals in the world, as they can run 55 miles an hour. All right, we're almost there. Please, thank you, Asante Sana. Let's see, how's this gonna go for us? Gonna guess not too well. Now I know our friend's gonna be really close, but please keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle. Please do not pet it. As tempting as it's gonna be, I want to pet them too. Now let's see. I do see some broken down trees up over this way. And it does mean that we are getting a little bit closer to elephant country. Now, Kuna Matata, no worries if we won't see any elephants right away. There is a chance that we can see some once we do go further up ahead in our adventure. Also, over here hanging out with elephants from time to time on the left, we might be able to see some mandrill monkeys. For my friends who aren't sure what a mandrill monkey looks like, they resemble Rafiki from The Lion King. The adult male mandrill monkey's face gets a brighter red or blue when it becomes excited. And once fully matured, they'll also be the largest of the monkey species too. So try to keep an eye out for them, as they do tend to blend in with their surroundings. Now their faces might be super bright since I don't see them, probably getting ready for their performance of the Circle of Life. But if you look in the distance on the right, you'll see my favorite animal, the African elephant. Now our friend has been able to hear us for a little while now. They can hear from up to 3.5 miles away. Also with those giant ears of theirs, it kind of acts as their own little personal AC unit. By moving their ears back and forth, it cools their body temperature down by 15 degrees. Just like us humans, elephants do have sensitive skin, so they throw mud, dirt, and sand on their backs to act as their own little natural sunscreen too. Now hopefully as we do go further up ahead, we can see My Little Pride and Joy, which is a baby elephant. She is so cute. She actually just turned 3 years old. Now, when she was first born, she weighed close to 300 pounds. When fully grown, she'll range from 13 to 15,000. And our baby right now is about 1,500. She also recently started growing in her tusks as well, which is super cute. So hopefully you guys will have a chance to see her and fall in love with her just like I did. This area over here is known as the red clay pits. And sometimes the elephants will actually dig their tusks into the red clay and eat and self-supply minerals all throughout their bodies, which it looks like they were doing on the right-hand side not too long ago. Now, speaking of their tusks, unfortunately, every single day, 96 elephants will be poached. So it does turn out to 1 every 15 minutes. And the reason why is because of the ivory found in them. So my friends, please try to not buy anything with ivory in it. These beautiful animals will no longer be poached and hopefully will never become extinct in our near future. Every little bit that we do really does help. And since these animals, of course, do not have a voice, we are their voice to help make the difference in the world. So everything that we do really is going to matter for these beautiful animals. Oh, there's the baby! Over there on the left-hand side. Isn't she so cute? She absolutely loves the rain, so when it rains, she always loves to play in the mud puddles and roll around in them. And while doing so, she flops her ears everywhere. It's so cute. Now, elephants have the most muscles in their trunks, so they eat and they drink their water. They drink about 40 gallons of it every single day, as well as eat close to 300 pounds of food per day.